Now that Elon Musk has joined the fray this week with his idea of batteries for the home for his new Tesla energy initiative, which could lead the way for larger systems for business use, and realizing that disruptive technologies can at times upend an industry's business model and competitive positioning, how long do you believe it will be before distributed generation becomes a meaningful threat to your utilities, especially if power can be stored more easily at the end user's place of business or home?
You put your finger on storage being the key, and Charlie follows storage a good bit more than I do, and maybe I'll have Greg Abel talk about it. But obviously, distributed energy is something we've pay a lot of attention to. One of the probably the best defense is to have very low cost energy, and MidAmerican's done a terrific job in that respect. And the figures in terms of people who have adopted solar in our territories are just minuscule, and to stay that way. But huge improvements in storage would make a difference in a lot of ways. And Charlie, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously we're going to use a lot more renewable energy because the fossil fuels aren't going to last forever. And obviously Berkshire is very aggressive and very well located in terms of this development. You know, I grew up here in this part of the world, and to have 20% of the power of Berkshire Utilities in Iowa coming from the wind, I regard as a huge stunt. And it's, of course, very desirable in a windy place like Iowa, where the farmers like the extra income, to be getting a lot of power out of the wind. And, of course, we're going to have a lot better storage, and the technology has been improving. And it's not a threat, it's a huge benefit to humanity, and I think it'll be a huge benefit to Berkshire. I mean, everything is working for us. I love owning MidAmerican in an era when we're going to have more storage, more wind, more solar, more grid. And I think we're so lucky. What the hell would we do as the fossil fuels run down if we didn't have the sun to use indirectly in these forms? And of course, there's going to be a lot more storage, and of course there'll be some disruption in the utility industry, but there'll be more opportunity, I think, than disruption.
Just in the last week, we've announced we're already the leader, and we've announced 2 different projects, one in Nebraska. I think it's 400 megawatts in Nebraska. That'll be the first time we've had a wind farm here. And then we just got approval in the last couple of days for, I think, $1.5 billion worth more of wind in Iowa. And I think Charlie mentioned 20%, but if Greg Abel could take the microphone, I think it's a lot greater percentage than that now. It's a moving target, so I may not have kept Charlie posted on the number, but Greg, would you bring people up to date on what percent we will be in Iowa when the present projects are completed, and also what has happened in Nevada and a few places like that? Greg?